Hello everyone. In this video, we shall solve some of the problems involving harmonic functions. So first of all, we shall recall polar form of a complex number. So given a complex number, z is equal to x plus iy, where x is called the real part of z, y is called the imaginary part of z. We define modulus of z, which is taken as r, to be square root of x square plus y square, and which we know that it geometrically represents the length of the line joining the points origin and z. So square root of x square plus y square nothing but represents the length of the line joining the points origin and z. So it is taken as r, and the angle made by this line joining the points origin and z with respect to the positive x-axis is taken as theta, right? So r is nothing but the length of the line joining the origin and z, and theta is the angle made by that line with respect to positive real axis. So with these two representations, with these two notations, so next, so in this rectangle OAZ, consider the trigonometric functions cos and sine. So what is cos theta? Cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. So cos theta will be adjacent x by the hypotenuse r, and sin theta will be opposite by the hypotenuse, that is y by r. So simplifying them, we get x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta. Now considering the given complex number z is equal to x plus iy, so substituting the values of x and y in terms of r and theta, we get z is equal to r into cos theta plus I sin theta, which we call it as polar form of z. And the notations or the substitutions which we used in representing the z in polar form are called polar coordinates. So x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta are called polar coordinates. So given a complex number z is equal to x plus iy, using the notations r and theta, so we can represent it in the form called polar form, and the substitutions which we use in that representation are called polar coordinates, right? So given a complex number z, so it will be function of x and y, right? But representing x and y in terms of r and theta, so you will get any complex number in terms of r and theta, which we call it as the polar form of z. So any complex number can be represented in terms of polar form, r and theta. So now we shall apply that concept in functions. So consider any function u of a complex variable, that is u is defined for complex numbers. So u of z, right? So u is a function of complex variable. So z, complex number z means it will be function of x and y, that is real and imaginary parts. So now use the polar coordinates. So u is basically a function of complex variable z, but z is a function of x and y. Now using these substitutions or using these polar coordinates, so x can be represented in terms of r and theta, that is r cos theta, and y can be represented as r sin theta in terms of r and theta. So after representing x in terms of r and theta, y representing r and theta, so u will be function of r and theta. So basically u is in terms of z, z can be represented in terms of x and y, and now x and y are represented in terms of r and theta. So u will be precisely in terms of r and theta, and this form or this representation of u in terms of r and theta is called polar form of u. So any function involving the coordinates r and theta is called polar form of that function, right? So using this basic idea, now we shall come to a problem So let u of z equals u of x comma y. That is, u is a function of complex variable or u is a function of x and y. Be a real valued function of a complex variable defined and single valued in a region omega. If u of z is continuous together with its partial derivatives of first two orders, then show that u of z satisfies the Laplace equation given by delta u equals dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square equals 0 if and only if it satisfies the equation r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r plus dou square u by dou theta square equals 0, where when we are talking about this equation, so explicitly we are considered u in the polar form. That is, u is basically a function of complex variable. That is, u is a function of x and y. Using the polar coordinates, x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta. X and y can be represented in terms of r and theta. With this representation, u will be in terms of r and theta. So this is called polar form of u, right? So whenever u is considered in polar form, so we can talk about this equation. We can talk about this equation because here we are talking about partial derivative of u with respect to r, partial derivative of u with respect to theta. So that is only possible whenever u contains the terms r and theta, or u contains the variables r and theta. So now this problem is that, so a function u of z which is having the properties, so it is a real valued function of a complex variable, it is continuous, and its first two partial derivatives, first two orders of partial derivatives are continuous. Then u of z will satisfy Laplace equation if and only if it satisfies this equation. So what that means, Laplace equation is actually equivalent to this condition, or Laplace equation condition is equivalent to this condition, where you can observe that Laplace equation is always in terms of x and y. So whenever we have any equation or any function in terms of x and y, we say it is in the Cartesian form because x and y are called Cartesian coordinates. So Laplace equation will be precisely in Cartesian coordinates. Now, this condition, this Laplace equation condition is equivalent to the condition r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r plus dou square u by dou theta square, where you can observe the variables are r and theta. Hence, by this problem, we can have a conclusion that, so this is the Laplace equation in Cartesian coordinates which will be equivalent to this condition. So these two conditions are one and the same, means I can call this as the Laplace equation. This has the Laplace equation in polar coordinates. Polar coordinates. So that means this problem nothing but gives a equivalent condition for Laplace equation which is in the Cartesian form will be in the polar form, right? So this problem gives you a equivalent condition for a Laplace equation in the polar form. So now we shall prove it. So what is the hypothesis? Hypothesis is u of z is a real valued function of a complex variable. It is defined in a region omega. U of z is continuous together with its partial derivatives of first two orders. That is, u is continuous, its first order partial derivatives are continuous, second order partial derivatives are also continuous. So this is the hypothesis. So with this assumption, what we have to prove? So the function u satisfies Laplace equation if and only if it satisfies this condition. Right? So it is an if and only if condition. So there are two parts. So assuming the Laplace equation holds, we have to prove this equation holds. And conversely, whenever this equation holds, we have to prove the Laplace equation holds. So you can observe Laplace equation is in terms of Cartesian coordinates, as I told, and this equation is in terms of r and theta. But as we have observed, there is a close relationship between the Cartesian coordinates x and y and the polar coordinates r and theta. So using that relation, we will convert this equation in terms of x and y so that we can compare these two equations. So assuming the satisfaction of Laplace equation, we have to prove this equation holds. But these two are in terms of different coordinates. One is in terms of Cartesian coordinates x and y. The other is in terms of the polar coordinates r and theta. So we will convert one into the form which is in the other. That means we will convert this equation which is in r and theta to the form of x and y. Later we'll compare it, right? So the first thing we'll do is we'll convert the given equation in terms of the Cartesian coordinates x and y using the polar coordinates, right? So what we'll do first, consider the given function u in terms of polar coordinates. That is, consider u in the polar form, with the polar coordinates x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta. So now we shall consider this equation term by term and we will convert it into Cartesian form. So first we will consider dou u by dou r. So consider dou u by dou r. So that is, I need partial derivative of u with respect to r, but u is in terms of x and y. So the given function is in terms of x and y, but x and y are in terms of r and theta, right? So u is a function of x and y are functions of r and theta. So what we have to do, we have to use chain rule. So for example, if I want to differentiate log x square, so what you will do, so if I take u to be log x square, so I have to differentiate u. If I want to differentiate u is a function of log is a function of x, right? So if I want to differentiate this with respect to x, you have to apply the chain rule. So what is that chain rule? So du by dx will be, so first you have to differentiate log, then x square. So differentiation of log is x 1 by x square and differentiation of x square is 2x, right? So if one is the function of the other, we'll use the chain rule concept. So here also the same thing. So we need partial derivative of u with respect to r. So u is a function of x and y. X and y are functions of r and theta. So what shall we do is, first we shall differentiate u with respect to x, then x with respect to r. U with respect to y with respect to r. As it contains two variables, you have to repeat this twice. So first u with respect to x, then x with respect to r, plus u with respect to y and y with respect to r. So this is nothing but called chain rule. So now u is unknown, so use some function. So they have not given the definition of u, so that we cannot calculate dou u by dou x, but we know what is x. So x is in terms of r and theta. So x contains two independent variables, so we can talk about its partial derivative. So now I need dou x by dou r. So that is, differentiate x with respect to r partially. So you have to consider the theta terms as constant. So cos theta is kept constant. Differentiation of r with respect to r is 1. So what will be dou x by dou r? So dou u by dou x as it is. So dou x by dou r will be cos theta into 1. So it is cos theta, plus dou u by dou y as it is. So next, dou y by dou r. So differentiate y with respect to r partially. So sine theta is constant, differentiation of r is 1. So it will be just sine theta. So what is this? This is dou u by dou r. So next what we need, r into dou u by dou r. So multiply r to this equation. So then r into dou u by dou r will be r into this one. So just I have multiplied r on both sides. Dou u by dou x cos theta plus dou u by dou y sin theta. Right? Now multiply r inside and combine r with cos theta and sin theta. So dou u by dou x into r cos theta plus dou u by dou y into r sin theta. Right? So, but we know what are these. So dou u by dou x into r cos theta is nothing but x. Dou u by dou y into r sin theta is nothing but y. So what is this? So this is r into dou u by dou r. So next what we need dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r. So next step is, so this is nothing but r into dou u by dou r. So at the end of this step, so what we have done, you can observe, we have expressed r into dou u by dou r in terms of x and y. So you can observe, so in the right hand side, there are only x and y terms. So that means we have succeeded in representing r into dou u by dou r in terms of x and y. So we will extend it. So next what we need dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r. So that is, we need the partial derivative of this function with respect to r. But this function, that is r into dou u by dou r, is in terms of x and y are in terms of r and theta. So once again, you have to apply the chain rule. So to differentiate this function with respect to r, so use the chain rule. So first differentiation of this function with respect to x and x with respect to r, and differentiation of this function with respect to y, then y with respect to r. So what is this function? It is dou u by dou x x plus dou u by dou y y. So here also dou u by dou x x, dou u by dou y y. So now just you have to differentiate it. So the partial derivative is a linear operator. So we can split like this. So dou by dou x of dou u by dou x into x plus dou by dou x of dou u by dou y into y into dou x by dou r. So that is differentiation of x with respect to r partially. So it is cos theta plus, so dou by dou y of this, it is dou by dou y of dou u by dou x into x plus dou by dou y of dou u by dou y into y into, so this whole multiplied by cos theta. Here this whole multiplied into dou y by dou r means it is sin theta. Okay, next. So just have to simplify it. So dou by dou x of dou u by dou x into x. So you have to apply product rule here. So as there are two functions, as we have dou by dou x of dou u by dou x into x. So as it is product of two functions, you have to apply product rule. So what is product rule? So keeping one function as it is, you have to differentiate the other. So dou by dou x of dou u by dou x plus, now keep the function dou u by dou x as it is. So differentiation of x with respect to x. So this term is completed plus, so dou by dou x of dou u by dou y into y. So as we are differentiating with respect to x partially, y is constant. So keep it as it is. So differentiation of dou u by dou y with respect to x partially. Here we have to differentiate dou u by dou y with respect to x partially because, so this function may contain some x terms, right? this whole into cos theta plus, now we have to differentiate this one. So what is it? It is dou by dou y of dou u by dou x into x. So as we are differentiating with respect to y partially, x is constant. So take it outside. So what will be? So x into dou by dou y of dou u by dou x plus. So next dou u by dou y into dou by dou y of dou u by dou y into y. So we are differentiating with respect to y partially, and inside there are two functions in terms of y. So apply product rule. So keep one function as it is, differentiate the other, and repeat the same for the other. So keeping dou u by dou y as it is, differentiate y with respect to y partially. So what we remain with into whole sine theta. So this whole into sine theta. So now just once again simplify it. So what we have, x into, so dou by dou x of dou u by dou x means it is dou square u by dou x square. That is, so differentiate u with respect to x twice. So already we have differentiated one time. Once again you have to differentiate. So it is twice. So dou u by dou x into differentiation of x with respect to x is 1. So dou u by dou x into 1 plus. So here y into dou by dou x of dou u by dou y. So which is written as y into dou square u by dou y dou x. So it means, so differentiate u twice, first with respect to y, then with respect to x. So just I made a mistake here. So first with respect to y, then with respect to x. So just I interchanged it. So first with respect to y, then with respect to x. So it is dou x, dou y. So this whole into cos theta, right? Plus, now we have to simplify this term, plus x into dou by dou y of dou u by dou x. So what it means, differentiate u twice, first with respect to x, then with respect to y, plus y into dou square u by dou y square plus dou u by dou y into sine theta. So what could be next step? So multiply cos theta inside. So x cos theta dou square u by dou x square plus dou u by dou x cos theta plus y cos theta dou square u by dou x dou y plus, now multiply sine theta inside here. So what it will be, x sine theta dou square u by dou y dou x. So next, plus y into sine theta dou square u by dou y square, and the last term sine theta into dou u by dou y. So at the end of this step, what we got? So we started with differentiation of r into dou u by dou r with respect to r partially, and we completed it. So at the end of this step, we got this equation. So what we got? Dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r is in terms of x, y, and theta also, right? So now, so next step, so what we need, r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r. So this part is completed now. So I have to multiply r to it. So now we shall multiply r to the obtained equation. So r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r. So already we have this, just multiply r to this on both sides. So on the right hand side, if I multiply r, so there are many terms, multiply r to each of the term. So first term, so x into r cos theta into dou square u by dou x square plus multiply r to this, so combine with r cos theta, so r cos theta into dou u by dou x plus the third term, multiply r to this, so combine r with cos theta, so r cos theta will be x, so it will be y r cos theta into, what is it, it is dou square u by dou x dou y, dou square u by dou x dou y plus r to this, so x into r sin theta into dou square u by dou y dou x, dou square u by dou y dou x plus r to this, so y into r sin theta dou square u by dou y square plus r sin theta dou u by dou y. So just what I have done is I have multiplied r to the above equation on both sides. That's it. So now what we will get? So r cos theta is x. So it is x square dou square u by dou x square plus r cos theta is once again x. So x into dou u by dou x plus r cos theta is x. So xy dou square u by dou x dou y plus this is y. So it is xy dou square u by dou y dou x plus y square dou square u by dou y square plus, so the last term, so it is y, so it is y into dou u by dou y. So call this as equation 1. So at the end of this step, what we have got? So we have got r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r. So this is what we got. So we converted this term into x and y. So in the given equation, what remained then? So we converted this part into x and y. Now we have to do the same thing with dou square u by dou theta square. So now consider this term and convert it into x and y. So we shall do it. Now consider dou square u by dou theta square. So what it means? It means you have to differentiate u with respect to theta partially twice. So first you have to differentiate dou u by dou theta. First you have to calculate dou u by dou theta. That is, you have to differentiate u with respect to theta first time. Then differentiate the resulting term theta once again with respect to theta once again. So you will get dou square u by dou theta square. So dou by dou theta of. So we need differentiation of u with respect to theta partially. Once again, you can observe u is basically a function of x and y, and x and y are functions of r and theta. So we have to apply chain rule. So first differentiate u with respect to x and y, then x and y with respect to r and theta. So dou u by dou theta equals dou u by dou x by dou theta plus dou u by dou y into dou y by dou theta. So dou by dou theta as it is. So dou u by dou x, we have to keep it as it is as we don't know what is u. So dou x by dou theta. So differentiate x with respect to theta partially. So in that case, r will be kept constant. Differentiation of cos theta is minus sin theta plus dou u by dou y as it is. Differentiate y with respect to theta partially. So keep r as it is. So differentiation of sin theta is cos theta. So this is what we get. Now just have to simplify one more time. So dou by dou theta of, So r sine theta is y. So it is what it will be, minus y dou u by dou x plus r cos theta is x. So it will be x into dou u by dou y. Now apply dou u by dou theta once again. So what that means? So the function inside the brackets, it has to be differentiated with respect to theta partially. But the function in the brackets is in terms of x and x and y are in terms of r and theta. So again, apply chain rule. So first differentiation of that function with respect to x, minus y dou u by dou x plus x into dou u by dou y, then x with respect to theta plus the given function with respect to y, minus y dou u by dou x plus x into dou u by dou y into y with respect to theta. So now we shall simplify it. So dou by dou x of sum of two terms. So we can separate it. So the first term contains minus y and dou u by dou x. As we are differentiating with respect to x partially, minus y is treated as constant. So dou by dou x of dou u by dou x. So what it will be? It is dou square u by dou x square plus. So now second term. So there are two terms with respect to x containing x terms. So I have to apply product rule. So x as it is. So differentiation of dou u by dou y with respect to x. So it will be dou square u by dou x dou y plus dou u by dou y as it is. Differentiation of x with respect to x is 1. So which completes the first term. So into dou x by dou theta. So differentiation of x with respect to theta means it is minus r sine theta plus now this term. So dou by dou y is first term. So both the functions contain y terms. So product rule. So minus y as it is, differentiation of dou u by dou x. It is dou square u by dou y dou x plus now dou u by dou x as it is into differentiation of y with minus y with respect to y. So it is minus 1 plus x into dou u by dou y. So x is constant. So it is dou square u by dou y square. So this whole into dou y by dou theta. So it will be r cos theta. So r sine theta is y and this is x. So substitute that and multiply inside. So this is nothing but minus y. This is nothing but x. So now multiply minus y inside. So what you will get? Minus y into this. So it is y square dou square u by dou y square plus minus y into this minus xy dou square u by dou x dou y, next minus y into dou u by dou y. So this is one part. Now this, so this whole into x. So first term will be minus xy dou square u by dou y dou x. Second, minus 1 into x. So minus x into dou u by dou x. And this one x square into dou square u by dou x square. So x square into dou square u by dou x square, sorry, dou y square. Dou y square. So this is what it is, dou square u by dou theta square. So this is what we have calculated. So call this as equation 1 and 2. Now from 1 and 2, so add 1 and 2. So equation, so 1 and 2. So add left hand side to the left hand side and add right hand to the right hand side. So add 1 and 2. So the left hand side is like this. R into dou by dou R of R into dou U by dou R. So this is left hand side of equation 1 plus left hand side of equation 2. Now you have to add the right hand sides of equation 1 and 2. So and adding those two equations, so you will get x square plus y square into dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square. So by adding 1 and 2 on the right hand side, some terms will get cancelled because in equation 2, so these terms have minus sign, and in equation 2 the same terms have the plus sign. So the opposite signs gets cancelled. So you are remained with dou by dou r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r plus dou square u by dou theta square as this one. So call this as some star. So what we have done now, so just we have converted the given equation which was in terms of r and theta into in terms of x and y. So now the Laplace equation is in terms of x and y, and the given equation is also in terms of x and y. So now it becomes easier to compare the two. So now what we have to do, now we shall prove the if and only if condition. So the direct part. So in the direct part, assume that the Laplace equation delta u given by dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square equals 0 holds. Assume that Laplace equation holds. Then consider the equation r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r plus dou square u by dou theta square. So now we have proved it to be x square plus y square into dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square. Right? Now we have assumed the Laplace equation holds. That means, so this sum is equal to 0. So substituting that value, so this becomes 0. So 0 into anything will be 0. So that is, we proved that assuming the Laplace equation holds, we proved that the given equation holds. So that is r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r plus dou square u by dou theta square equals 0. So this completes the direct part. Now conversely, assume that the given equation holds. That is r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r plus dou square u by dou theta square equals 0. Then so use the equation star. So star says that this is nothing but this product. So as we have assumed this term is 0, this will also be equal to 0. So by star, x square plus y square into dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square will be equal to 0. So as this term is equal to 0, the product will be equal to 0. So the product equals to 0 means any one has to be equal to 0, right? So whenever this term is non-zero, so this term has to be equal to 0. So dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square. So we can say this will be equal to 0 for all terms x and y in omega with xy is not equal to 0, 0. So this product is 0 means it implies any one of these two terms has to be equal to 0. Whenever the first term is non-zero, the second term has to be 0. So what is the first term? It is x square plus y square. So when it will be non-zero, so whenever x or y is non-zero. So if x and y both are equal to 0, then the first term will be 0. In that case, so the second term could be 0, could not be 0. So we don't know. It could be 0, it cannot be 0 also. But whenever the first term is non-zero, the second term has to be 0 as the product has to be 0. So I'll assume the case when the first term is non-zero. So first term has to be non-zero means any one of x and y has to be other than 0. So that is x and y cannot be equal to x comma y cannot be equal to 0 comma 0. So that means both cannot be equal to 0. So if any one of x and y is non-zero, x square plus y square will be non-zero, so that the term dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square will be 0. So what is that? So whenever the ordered pairs x and y are other than 0 comma 0, so we got the Laplace equation. So I can write, so that is dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square will be 0 for all terms x and y belonging to omega with x comma y not equal to 0 comma 0. So but we need this Laplace equation for all the points in omega, but we got that this equation holds for all the points in omega except origin, but we don't know the region omega contains the origin or not. So omega is given to be just a region, so it could be a region which do not contains the origin, and it could be a region which contains the origin. But in any case, we have to prove the Laplace equation holds for all x and y. For all x and y, we have to prove that dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square is 0. But now we have got it to be true for all the points in omega other than the origin. If at all omega does not contain the origin, then obviously this condition is true for all the points of omega, right? If at all it contains the origin, then we have to prove this condition at the origin also, as it has to be true for all the points of omega, so it has to be true at origin also. So now assume the case if at all that region omega contains the origin. So in other case, and we no need to argue for the origin, right? So suppose the origin 0 comma 0 belongs to omega. So what they have given, so u is given to be continuous in the region omega. Their partial derivatives of first two orders are also continuous. That means these two functions are continuous in omega, so their sum will also be continuous. So as it is continuous in omega, it will be continuous at 0 comma 0, right? Then the function dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square is continuous at 0 comma 0. As this function will be continuous in omega, according to the hypothesis, it will be continuous at a point in that region. So as it is a continuous function at this point, I can write so dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square at 0 comma 0 at this point. The value of this function at this point will be equal to limit dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square as x comma y approaches to 0 comma 0. So this is by continuity of the function, continuity of this function, right? So now as x comma y approaches to 0 comma 0, so as the ordered pairs x comma y approaches to 0 comma 0 means, so these ordered pairs are not equal to 0 comma 0, but they are approaching to 0 comma 0. But what we have proved, for all the ordered pairs which are not equal to 0 comma 0, so this function is just 0. So substitute that. So in this limit, so as x comma y approaches to 0 comma 0 means all these ordered pairs will be other than 0. So but for all those points, so this function will be simply 0, and limit of 0 is 0. So what that means, we got dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square at 0 comma 0, at this point also to be 0. So initially we got this Laplace equation to be equal to 0 for all points in omega except origin. But if at all that region contains origin, then at that point also we got the Laplace equation to be equal to 0. So thus, if the region omega contains origin or not, so the Laplace equation holds for all the points. So hence, so the Laplace equation dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square is 0 for all the points in omega. For all the points in omega. So first of all, we proved this for all non-zero points, and later we prove this for the point 0 also. So in general, it holds for all the points in omega. So which proves the converse part. So assuming the given equation r into dou by dou r of r into dou u by dou r plus dou square u by dou theta square equal to 0, we proved that the Laplace equation holds. So this if and only if condition proves that the Laplace equation in the Cartesian form is equivalent to this condition. So this condition or this equation can be treated as the equivalent condition for the Laplace equation in polar form, as Laplace equation holds if and only if this equation holds, as the Laplace equation holds if and only if this equation holds. So these two are equivalent conditions, so one is dependent on the other. So I can treat this condition as the Laplace equation in polar coordinates. As this equation is in terms of polar coordinates, we'll name this as the Laplace equation in polar form, that is in polar coordinates. Hence, this problem gives a condition for the Laplace equation in the polar form. So ultimately, we shall make a note of it. So note is in polar coordinates, the Laplace equation delta u equals dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square equals 0 is given by r into dou by dou r of dou u by dou r plus dou square u by dou theta square equals 0. So in polar coordinates, the Laplace equation takes the form this one. So what is the use of this observation? So given a function u of z, if you want to verify it is a harmonic function, so what are the conditions you have to verify? It has to be a real valued function of a complex variable. It has to be continuous together with its partial derivatives of first two orders. And finally, it has to satisfy the Laplace equation. Suppose the given equation is in the polar form. Suppose the given function is in terms of r and theta. To verify Laplace equation, so I have to convert that given function into x and y, because Laplace equation is in terms of x and y. So to avoid that useless work, so what we will do is we verify this equation for the given function which is in the polar form, as this condition is equivalent to the Laplace equation. If this condition holds, that directly implies the Laplace equation holds. So this condition helps in verifying a given function in the polar coordinates to be a harmonic function. To verify Laplace equation for a function given in the polar coordinates, we use this. So this equation is nothing but treated as the Laplace equation in the polar coordinates.